Claude. Thanks for calling. I thought about your idea, and I really don't think people would be interested in seeing paintings of water lilies. Have you ever thought of doing like French cafe scenes? Well, I understand. Well, think about it, Mr. Monet, and I'll get back to you. I might have some other ideas, but don't worry, you're going to succeed. Okay, keep painting. Bye. Oh, hi. Good to see you. I hope you're well. Today, we're going to do some more French landscape painting without leaving home. So, I have a picture that I took in Pierre Bonnard's garden in Vernonnet, which is a suburb of Vernon, which is 70 kilometers from France. I took it when I was there a few years when we got a chance to tour the house. I've always wanted to paint it, so why not paint it now? Travel painting without leaving home. So, what I did was, I did a sketch, a value sketch. I put in the dark lights and mediums, sort of to give me a roadmap. I've posted the roadmap, my line drawing, and I believe the colored picture on my blog, and I'll link it in the information below this video. Then I painted the painting. So this is a finished, this is my first finished attempt. I'm going to take you through the basics today of how I got here, and then I think in another video I'll give you more of the details. So I've got a drawing that I Xeroxed onto my 90-pound watercolor paper, and I think what I want to do is explain to you the basics of that you can mix sap green with just about anything and get a wide variety of color mixtures that'll work for a painting, especially a landscape. So for this area back here in the back, we're going to use the principle of atmospheric perspective like we used in our last landscape, and we're going to make duller mixtures with sap green so that they recede, so they're not bright and they don't come forward. So the first mixture I'm going to do, wet into wet, is I'm going to put some water here, and I am going to bring it over here, and maybe even over here. And I am going to use cerulean blue and mix it with some sap green. So here's my cerulean blue and here's my sap green. As you can see, it makes a beautiful gray green. So I'm just going to plop it in and let it flow around the tree. I'm not painting the tree, I'm painting around the tree. And because it can really wiggle when it's wet, I'm going to hold this now flat on my desk, hold the painting flat. Now I'm going to come over here where I put some of the other water and make that. Bring the color over there. And then while we're at it, we'll bring it over here. Okay, now for our furthest tree, and then maybe I'll drop a little more in over here on the darker side of the tree. Now I think I'll put in, well, I've still got some on my brush. I'll put some water on it, dilute it a little bit, and maybe I'll use that out here too. So this will be the same color but with more water. And so I'll bring that here, like that. And maybe I'll even put it over here, like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, we're just mushing it on. Okay, then while I still have a little bit on my brush, I think I might mix it with a tiny bit of purple, because that's going to make an even duller mixture. But it'll still be green. Aha! So you may think, yuck, that's an ugly color. But this is exactly the color we want because we want it to recede into the back of our picture. So we're putting that there, we're putting that there. This will, if I touch the edge of the still wet first tree I painted, it will mush together. So I'm going to try to leave a little alleyway there so it doesn't mush together. Then I'm going to start over on this tree, and I'm just going to dab that purple cerulean sap green mixture over here and maybe even over here, because those are going to be in the distance, and those are kind of our most dull. So then I am going to, and this one, I might even make a little bit more purple, just to create interest. So even though nobody but you and I know that it's a purple sap green tree, maybe we'll even put some over here and bring this one here. Oops, like that. Why not? Sky's the limit. And we could, okay, then we've got this one over here, and we've got this white. We want it to be lighter, so we're just going to kind of coax it out, blend it, push it gradually, lightly, just dab at it for it to gradate out. Okay, now we're going to have another mixture of duller green, so, well, let's try sap. Let's put a teeny bit of sap green and we'll see what happens. Not sap, I'm sorry. Burnt sienna and sap green. So here's some burnt sienna mixed in with the sap green. Might even need a little more. Ha! Okay, let's see how this works for us. Let's put that over here. Looks a little brown, so I'm going to put a little more green in it for my taste. Yeah, now it looks kind of olivey. If you hate it at any point, you could always dab it off with a paper towel and some water. But I'm going to put it there. Why not? There we go. And let's put that over here too. Why not? It's going to go behind our house. So, and while we're talking about sap green, we're not finished yet. We've got our background done, but we want to mix sap green for the foreground. So we're going to talk about how we're going to do that. And we've got one more tree over here. What do you think we should put with that? Well, that is the lighter side of our painting. So let's take some yellow ochre and mix it with our sap green. Yellow ochre, sap green, still a little duller, but it'll be a tiny bit lighter in value. So we'll put that over there, that here. So those are all duller versions of sap green that we mixed. And I'll write these all down for you so you won't be at a loss. Might as well take, I don't know. Should we put that one somewhere else? Not sure. Let's think about it. This is kind of in the background. All right, I'm going to do it over here too. Okay, using it here, and it's still kind of dull, but what we want to do is maybe add a little bit more green to the mixture. Over here, I'm dropping it in. And then as we move over to the lighter side of the tree, because the light's coming from this direction, let's mix some yellow ochre on this side and let them sort of meet in the middle. That's called color into color. And you might think it's crazy, but we're also going to introduce just a teeny bit of orange into that mix, because orange will kind of wake it up a little bit and make it a little more interesting. So we've got that there, and we have a good start. Now we're going to try the greens for the foreground. So we can clean off our palette and give ourselves a little bit more room to work. So let's get rid of these dirty mixtures of sap green, because we want clean mixes. We want to go back into our sap green and get more fresh sap green. This is sap green. I believe my sap green is Daniel Smith, if you wondered what it was. Winsor Newton makes a good sap green. A lot of people make good sap greens. Then we're going to mix this for the foreground. We're going to get a lot of lemon yellow. Oh, don't do that. Okay, now, well, you can do that. All kinds of crazy things happen when you're painting. Let's take the yellow over here. This is my lemon. Let's take some sap green. Not very much. We want a really, really bright sap green. I want it a little lighter, so I filled this with water, and I'm going to stick some water in it. More water makes it very light. So I am just going to slather that over here. Kind of like crisscross, I used to call it. I'm just kind of making my brush move in different directions. I have some flowers down there, and there might be some flowers in this, so I have some flowers drawn, but I'm going to leave some holes too. Now we're moving up here. This is the foreground. We'll go over here, get some over here. Oops. I have this taped down. I have this held down with binder clips because that'll keep it from moving around when I put a lot of water on it. Oops, and then we're going to stick some more in, and you want texture because this is going to be, these are going to be, this is going to be greenery. Okay, now we're going to clean off our brush, and I've decided sort of around here is going to be my focal point where I want the viewer's eye to go. So I'm going to take just yellow and put it on the top of these green areas, so that it's very, very bright. And I might even leave some white showing. And maybe I'll pull it over here too, so it's called bookending. I learned that from Carlin Holman. Okay, and if you get a little paint somewhere, you can always push it off with your finger or leave it. So now while it's still wet, we want to dull down these that are in the mid area, because these we want to come forward, this area we want to come forward, but we want this area to be sort of a middle ground. So we can take this sap green and lemon yellow and clean off our brush, then add some cobalt blue, which gives us a nice, friendly kind of mid-value green. Okay, so then let's throw that, see what happens while it's still wet. Put a little of that in. What do you think? Not sure, but we'll keep going. These are further back. Put a little bit over here on the darker side, because this will be where the shadow is coming. And then, whoops, Pace is barking. He heard a noise. Okay, we'll put this here. We might have to load up again if I'm losing paint. Get that there. Ooh, maybe behind the tree I want a darker area. There might be some flowers. I don't know. This will go over here. This will go around my tree. Back here. Oh, I decided this should be pretty dark back here. So, because I want some dark against light. So what I'll do is double dip, get a little bit dark ultramarine blue, and drop it in. So that makes it yet darker. You could make that darker on the shadow side of your greenery, because there will be a shadow. Could make it darker down here if we want to. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to put a little more back here. Okay. Whoa, that's quite a bit, but you know what? It might work. I can always make it lighter. Okay, and maybe I'll pull that around here, because you need enough dark to make your lights look light. Okay, so maybe we'll have some down here. Maybe here. Okay, so I think that's enough about sap green for now. Let's switch to the tree, because I know you've been wondering how to paint a tree. I'm going to show you the easiest way that I know, and my favorite color mixture. Be careful because these are wet. You could wait for them to dry them with a hairdryer, but for this video I'm just going for it.